guys, this is Russ with Joe's Gaming and Electronics here with another highly requested video. Today I'll be showing you guys how to replace the screen on an SM-R820 watch. So let's begin. So what I like to do first is, in order to get to the screen, we will have to take apart pretty much everything inside. You can't just get to the screen like that. I mean, you can, but the ribbon to the screen is plugged into the back of the board. So what I like to do is just heat it up, keep the back up a little bit so the glue gets loosened up. Now I like to use this 3-point screwdriver. It's a 2.0 by 25mm screwdriver. It works the best. Next, I just like to use this. It's a flat-headed screwdriver. I just like to pry it up in there, just get it up a little bit, and then I like to use this. It's a plastic pry tool. Next, you can just get in there and just pry it up from every single side. Since the glue is already loosened up, it's a lot easier to get it up. So next, don't pry up the actual back housing. Make sure you pry it up carefully because there is a ribbon plugged in underneath it. Set that aside, and we're gonna unplug the screen ribbon, the speaker ribbon, the depth sensor ribbon, the button ribbon, and the microphone ribbon. So we're gonna unplug all those ribbons. It's important to use one of these plastic tools because if you nick something on the board, you won't damage it unless you nick it really hard. But I just like to always be careful and use something that's not non-conductive. So next, we'll go ahead and use this flat-headed screwdriver, pry the housing out of the screen housing. Since we're not going to be taking apart the battery or anything, we're not going to take apart the board or the battery. We're just going to leave it as this. So what we're going to do is set all the ribbons aside. We're going to start by heating up the screen because we're going to take apart the screen from the housing. Don't heat up the screen too much because you will end up damaging the LCD if it gets too hot. But you do have to heat it up enough to have it come out really nicely. So we sell these pry tools on our website. We've done years and years of tests, and this one is the best pry tool to take off screens in my recommendation. So you can find them at joesge.com, and we'll start off from the sides. And make sure when you're going into it, you only go slightly into the screen and you work your way around. Because if you go way too much into the screen, you will end up cutting the ribbon, or you might go deep into the LCD. So just work your way around slowly. And if it does end up coming out like it just did, don't be afraid to put it back in there. Awesome stuff. So we're going to set the screen aside, and what we're going to do is we're going to take off the old tape, because you won't be able to reuse this tape because it's already been used once and it's not going to be good to be used again. So we're going to set that aside, the bad tape. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the adhesive, since I like to go with the easier route, and I'm gonna place it on the actual housing. Make sure to place it on perfectly. Then I like to make sure that it goes all the way around and it sticks to all the corners. To go all the way around so it just sticks everywhere. Set that aside. And usually I like to mark off where the ribbon's gonna go. Like with a permanent marker, I like to mark it off, but since I already do know where it's supposed to go, go ahead and place it there. Fold the ribbons in, just press down on the screen just to make sure that it's sealed properly. And what I like to go ahead and do is place the battery, the main board back in. So I got the screen sealed up. So I like to give it a quick test to make sure the screen's turning back on. Awesome. And it's perfectly aligned in the center, as you can tell. It's not lopsided or anything, which is good. And you know, while you wait, you can always enjoy a cup of coffee. I like to test things before they get placed on. Awesome. Seems like it's working perfectly. Gonna go ahead and power off the unit. Next we're gonna plug the ribbon back on. And in this case, I'm not going to use any glue because the seal is already nice on the actual back housing. But if you do want, you can, and if you do see that there's like a puncture in the actual seal, you can go ahead and purchase 704 glue off our website at joesge.com. And use this 3-point screwdriver in order to screw the 4 screws back in. Awesome. And that is how you replace the screen on an SM-R820 watch. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.